Thank you, Chairman. Hello, Commissioner. My time's limited, so I'll jump right in here, but I first want to echo what Chairman Engelbright and Senator Little pointed out and others about the importance of aquatic invasive species, certainly in my district. And I appreciate the Chairman coming up, as he did last summer, to see firsthand a few bodies of water in the district. But you know, I'm a strong advocate for this, and I think that we need to make sure that we're looking statewide. I'd like to see more efforts put into eradication. And I think, you know, everyone uses the expression about a rising tide lifting all boats, and I think a statewide approach to this, as opposed to a hunt and peck, you know, whack-a-mole to various bodies of water. While, you know, there's a few that are particular to me. In my district alone, I got dozens and dozens of lakes that most people in the room here may not have heard of, but they're all struggling with aquatic invasives. I think it's an awful lot to put on a local municipality or a homeowners or lake owners association when I think that there's a statewide benefit. So I'd like to see as much funneled into the eradication effort in aquatics as possible.
Understood.
First question I'd like to ask, though, getting back to the EPF, and we've talked a little bit about the $75 million that's in place for water projects, but I'd like to talk about sewer projects and funding for sewer projects. In particular, I know that it's been identified that there's a multi-billion-dollar need statewide in both water and wastewater infrastructure in the state. And certainly, as you can imagine, I've got several municipalities that are small municipalities, but they're located in critically environmentally sensitive areas on pristine bodies of water, important national bodies of water like Champlain and Lake George. But the economies of scale are not there as they are in urban areas to make sewer easy to pay for. So can you talk a little bit about the funding that is in place for these needs in particular, and bearing in mind that, and can you also confirm that DEC has issued several dozens, my understanding is, consent orders on wastewater projects to municipalities around the state, and that there's a deadline of 2018 to get this work done. Now, I've been told by a few of my communities that is just not achievable with the current financial support that's in place. So either more money or more time on those consent orders would be desirable.
Understood. First of all, on Water Infrastructure Improvement Act, just to make clear, that provides money not just for drinking water, but also for wastewater. Okay. So the $75 million this year that we would be adding to, we propose to add to with the $100 extra million, would go on a 60-40 split as it did last year, wastewater, drinking water. So we handle with the EFC the wastewater side. So there is significant money this year to help close the gap that the communities are looking for on financing. Specifically on the wastewater plants that you're talking about that are under consent order, we have unfortunately many consent orders around the state on wastewater. We'd be happy to work with you on the specific municipalities that have issues with those consent orders. We've done that in the past, okay, and found creative ways to accelerate compliance.
All right, I appreciate that. In the same vein, and I know no DEC commissioner is going to come here at a budget hearing and say that they need more money than the governor's requested in the budget, but I am concerned that occasionally it seems the state's management approach to new land purchases or just existing state responsibilities is to just maintain the status quo, buy new land and put a padlock across it, and that's the management plan. It's a cheap way to do it, but I'm not sure it's exactly what the residents had in mind, or certainly I don't think it's beneficial in these instances to the localities that have this. But I'm concerned with the department's ability to keep up with maintaining and updating unit management plans in the state land use master plan. As you know, there's a few that are currently ongoing in the Adirondacks. In my opinion, they've been going on far longer than they should, and it's either a political issue or it's a funding issue that I think is at the root here of what the holdup is. So are you adequately staffed to maintain this? Because the status quo may be desirable to some in this room, but to the people that I represent, you know, the localities, these changes will make a difference economically to the communities in the Adirondacks.
Well, I can tell you this, Assemblyman, we developed a fairly aggressive approach to tapping into the UMPs that have been lingering for many years. We have a lean process underway that will focus specifically on the UMPs to make sure those move more quickly. And yes, you're right, some of them are politically charged, but that hasn't stopped us from confronting some of the issues and trying to find balance. We are adequately staffed to manage projects. Our goal is, again, with any of our acquisition projects, to ensure we have a balanced approach that is not a padlock approach, that we have protections and use, because we know it's important for the communities in the Adirondacks and frankly elsewhere in the state.
All right, thank you. My time's up. Thank you.
Thank you.